Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to video number 1 on lesson 15.3. It's page 688, where we are continuing again with volumes and similar solids. Our last lesson on volume, where we're going to use the formula to find the volume of a sphere. And of course, our essential question, how do you find the volume of a sphere, which we will be answering in class. Now, you went to page 688, and you took down some notes on volume of a sphere, and you would recognize right away that this one is going to be pretty straightforward. It says the volume of a sphere is the product of 4/3 pi and the cube of the radius of the sphere. So volume is equal to 4/3 pi r cubed, which means we have to multiply by that radius by itself 3 times. So when you have a sphere, all we have to do is find the radius, and then we just plug and chug, doing our math in the order of operations. Pretty straightforward on this one. So let's go right to it. Find the volume of a sphere, rounding to the nearest tenth. So, of course, we know, and we are learning, and so we're writing down, volume of a cube is 4/3 pi times the radius cubed. Now, some people might want to look at it this way and say 4 times pi times the radius cubed, and then divide all that by 3. That's probably the easiest way of looking at it and when you're doing your math. So now we're just going to plug in the numbers and get busy. So we're going to leave pi, because once again we're going to write in terms of pi first, and then we're going to go forward. So I'm going to bring this over here, and I'm going to go 4 times pi, and of course our radius over here is our radius. We can see that's the radius. So we have 3 cubed, and we're dividing by 3. Now, can I simplify that 3 with one of those 3's in the 3 cubed yet? Nope, can't do it. Can't do it until I actually cube, unless, take a quick look over here. Because I know that 3 cubed is 3 times 3 times 3, all divided by 3. I could simplify now, if I wrote it in this form, and then I would have 4 times pi times 3 squared and end up with that math. And so we could, when we recognize, do things that way. But we're not going to have 3's very often, so I'm not going to do it this way today. Know that it can be done, but we're just going to move on over here. And I'm going to say that 4 times, well, let's go 3 cubed. And I'm going to show you on your calculator how to cube. And when you come to school tomorrow, otherwise it's just 3 times 3 times 3. So that would be 4 pi 27 divided by 3. And then you can simplify that and say 3 goes into 27, 9. So 4 times 9, that would be 36 pi. And of course it would be feet. And we're talking volume, so it is cubed. So in terms of pi, that's what you would get. But if you took 36 and multiplied by 3.14, you would get 113.04. which basically is 113 feet cubed for the volume of that sphere with a radius of 3 feet. Let's do another one. Find the volume of this sphere, recognizing that volume of a sphere is 4 pi r cubed divided by 3. That's 4/3 pi r cubed, and our radius being 8. So we're going to take 4 times pi times 8 cubed and divide by 3. And that's going to be 4 times pi, and 8 cubed. 8 cubed is 512 divided by 3. And then we're going to take 512 and multiply that by 4. And we get, come on up here, we get 2048 pi divided by 3. And when we divide that by 3, we get 682.6 repeating pi, and then it would be centimeters cubed, and that would be our answer in terms of pi. And when we multiply that by 3.14, we get, multiply. I almost did the wrong thing. So we take 682.6 repeating, and we multiply that by 3.14, and we get 2,143.57, which is 2,143.6 centimeters cubed after we simplify it all the way out. All righty? Moving right along. Find the volume of this sphere, rounding to the nearest tenth. And we know that volume is 4/3 pi times the radius cubed. So I'm going to take 4 times times pi, and our radius, oops, we come over here and recognize we do have the diameter. So when I divide that by 2, our radius is 9. So we always have to find that. So we're going to go 9 cubed, and we're going to divide by 3. So 4 times pi, and then 9 cubed, oops, clear, 9 cubed is going to be 729 divided by 3. Now, does 729, is that divisible by 3? Can I simplify out? I certainly can. So when I divide that by 3, I get 243. So I have 4, I'm going to move it up here, times pi times 243, and then that's 243 times 4 gives me 972 pi, and that would be millimeters cubed for our volume in terms of pi, multiplying that by 3.14, and I get 3052.08, which can round it to 3052.1 millimeters cubed when we simplify it all out. Well, if I'm going too fast, please make sure after you listen to me and watch me that you pause and then you write it all down. But I'm thinking that you're probably pretty quick. So we just did 3 examples, and now you're going to go to your first quick write, find the volume of a sphere rounding to the nearest tenth. By the way, we do have 3 videos tonight. They are not that long, but I just broke it up into 3. So we got to go move a little bit quicker today. Find the volume of a sphere. Here it is. You might want to draw it. To draw it, you just draw a circle. And then you put a round part in the middle and a dotted part in the back. Wow, voila, there's your cylinder. You can draw this diameter, recognize that that's the diameter, and label it to centimeters. When you're done, take a quick break, just a quick break, and then come back and see me for video number 2.